Signori del tubo, buonasera. Sì, è toccato di nuovo la Noir. 11ª puntata, signori. 11ª. Ok? Stiamo portando avanti il gioco, volente o nolente. Stiamo combattendo contro il crimine e ci stiamo facendo valere, mi sembra. O no, cosa ne pensate? Ditemelo qua sotto, mi raccomando, nei commenti, fatemi sentire che ci siete e lasciatemi anche un bel like come supporto al canale, ok? Ci vediamo qui dopo la sigla, bella. Signori, la scarpa bianca, the white shoe slaying. Luce, ok, di luce ci va sempre. Allora, sempre la solita signorina, che secondo me verrà. Eccolo lì, eccolo lì. Questa è ubriaca. Che ne dite? Ubriaca? Mi sa di sì. Buongiorno signori, è veramente una buona giornata oggi.
Galloway and Phelps are sending another fiend to San Quentin. A nice showy
Un bel
trial,
processo a
and he'll be
prescindere. Vedi che
strapped down with gas
bene
seeping
allora.
into his tiny reptile brain. Now, to fresh business. Galloway and
Ok,
Phelps, the task is at hand. The address is on the hill.
l'indirizzo sulla collina, a North Downtown. Nuovo obiettivo, nuova persona, nuovo luogo.
Skipper, is the new letter genuine?
Ce ne andiamo alla
Now, boys,
macchina,
we all know how
signori.
many imbeciles
Ok?
have confessed in the short case.
Collega, guida, grazie.
Indeed. You keep locking them up, but the bodies keep piling.
Yeah, Californians love a fad, Phelps. As long as the bricks hold up at San Quentin, there'll always be killers in this town to send there.
First the letter, and now another body. Come on, you can't keep on telling me there's not a killer still out there.
You know, Phelps, all these arrests on your record are giving you a reputation. You don't want them turning into unsolved.
Getting a vicious killer off the streets is more important than my reputation.
Really?
And besides, landing a big fat marlin is more impressive than an ocean full of minnows.
The minnows make it the man, Phelps. You can't always hit home runs. Sometimes you just gotta make first base.
Noi diciamo che c'è qualcuno a piede libero. Cioè che veramente il colpevole di tutto questo non l'abbiamo ancora trovato.
Galloway, homicide.
Scene secure. The rest of the patrolmen are going door to door, canvassing for witnesses.
Thanks. Keep me informed.
Will do, Detective.
This looks awfully familiar.
I think that's the impression the boys from the Examiner took with them as well.
There's nothing original under the sun. Why should murder be any different?
What do we have so far?
Cosa abbiamo qui? Non ci sono molte tracce. Ieri sera intorno alle 10 c'è stata un'acquazione che si è portata via quasi tutto.
And the body?
E il
Looks like she
corpo?
was tipped out of an automobile from the tire tracks and superficial injuries. Strangled with a length of rope. And for my money,
Sempre un pezzo di
stripped
corda.
parade again.
Time of death.
From her temperature, maybe 2 a.m., but it was cold last night.
Usual head injuries.
Però quello che non capisco.
Blunt force trauma.
Perché ci fanno arrestare qualcuno se non sono giusti?
No message with this one.
At least she was left clothed.
I doubt very much he was concerned with her dignity.
The green silk dress is very distinctive. Any sign of her other shoes?
Ah, stavolta è vestita.
No. And no handbag or other personal effects.
Allora andiamo subito a esaminarla. Sempre la corda, come vedete. La vedete la corda?
There appears to be a
Sembra
dry
un'etichetta di
cleaning
lavaggio a
label.
secco.
Superior Laundry Services F1363.
Dobbiamo scoprire questo indirizzo, credo. Braccio? Anello? Questa non ha anelli e non ha gioielli. Quindi già è un omicidio diverso, forse, eh? Niente. Mentre al fondo ci fa vedere qualcosa? No. Allora, hanno anche detto che tutto, cioè, è stato portato via dall'acquazzone. Vabbè, c'è la birra qua. Qua ci sono delle orme. Piede, numero?
No drag marks. Killer was moving around, surveying the scene.
Pensavo ci dicessero già tipo il numero del piede, roba del genere. Andiamo al punto C, ci sono le sgommate della macchina. L'autista e l'assassino sono la stessa persona. Tracce pneumatici però generico, non abbiamo... Dobbiamo parlare con lui?
You're clear to work, detective.
Ok, sì, grazie, che sennò lavoravo con i problemi. Allora, qua c'è un telefono e secondo me dobbiamo cercare quel... Aspetta, qua così? No, niente. Ah, c'è un boccone di sigaretta. No,
I don't think
niente,
this is
nada.
any use to us.
Ok, direi di andare direttamente al telefono. Vai. Così da telefonare direttamente per sapere questo indirizzo, credo. Poi arriva una signora. Chi è questa signora? Forse la mamma?
Detectives, I've been working the houses across the street and up the block. This lady thinks she has something for us.
Ah, pensa di avere qualcosa di... No, non c'è niente...
Detective Phelps, LAPD.
I'm Mrs. Barton, Catherine Barton. I live just across the way.
Allora, abbiamo persone sospette.
Did you see anyone around here last night?
Not last night, but yesterday, early evening, I saw that awful hobo.
Ma sì, vabbè, questa è
Do you have a
arrivata
description?
Tall, gaunt,
a dircelo.
horribly
Se non poteva anche non
disfigured. He may
essere...
have had an accident in the war. He's a very
L'uomo spaventoso è sempre
scary, angry
arrabbiato.
man.
Any idea where we might find him?
One of the hobo camps around here. He's some kind of hobo leader. They all follow him around.
Ok.
Thank you, ma'am. You've been a big help.
Of course. Anything I
course.
can do to help. I'd hate to think that something so ghastly could happen right here and nothing be done about it.
Ok. Dobbiamo sapere dell'indirizzo, ovviamente, no? Ok. Dunque, abbiamo trovato dove è l'accampamento di Barboni e adesso andiamo alla macchina. Allora, andiamo prima all'accampamento.
Where are we headed?
I think we ought to investigate the hobo lead.
Well, if you think we ought to, then I guess we ought.
Always bother. Don't leave me alone. I fought. Where's my wife?
Eccolo qua. Chi è questo?
We're looking for a tall man with a disfigured face. You know him?
Huh? What? I fought in 2 wars, you know, son. I think I earned some peace and quiet.
The bum isn't here.
Look at these people.
We should follow their lead. These guys can wait.
Cosa facciamo? Andiamo a vedere se troviamo sto tipo. Però quello mi ha detto: andiamoci di qui. Questi possono aspettare. Non vorrei che dobbiamo andare prima dall'altra parte, sai? Facciamo un cambio.
You can drive.
And where exactly are we going?
Vai, vediamo un attimo se sto facendo la cosa giusta.
Excuse me?
There was no message.
Where?
On the Vic. The last bodies had something written onto them. This one didn't.
I'm failing to follow you.
Can't be the same guy is what I'm saying, all right? Before you start trying to link this to Maldonado and all the others.
There are more factors to consider than the messages, Rusty.
This doesn't fit your pattern, Cole. End of conversation. Understand?
Allora,
Back into those white bucks now.
andiamo un po' qui dentro. No.
Phelps and Galloway,
Okay.
LAPD. We're investigating a case, and one of your laundry labels came up. F1363.
If you give me a minute, I'll go find a register and you can take a look. You take a look for yourself. I've got clothes that need pressing.
Allora, questa è intanto l'etichetta che c'era scritto dietro, eh. Noi stiamo cercando, aspetta che devo andare a vedere perché non me lo ricordo. Stiamo cercando etichetta della lavanderia F1 363. F1 363. Eccola qua.
Mrs. T. Terrellson, 43 Emerald Street, Westlake.
Penso che di qua ce ne possiamo andare. Ma allora mi sa che dobbiamo tornare dai...
You're behind the wheel.
No, non mi fa più tornare all'accampamento di Barboni. No, cazzo. Ho fatto una stronzata. No, vabbè. Pensavo che ci potessi tornare. Non avevo visto la linea prima.
I've got a feeling we're about to meet another wife killer.
You've always got that feeling, Rusty.
Yeah, and it's usually correct.
Please, please, for once, can you not let your assumptions color your detective work?
Just you wait. Nordic types show a particular disposition for this stuff.
Bussiamo sicuramente. Ok. C'è 2 bambine, li vedo. Chi è
Hello?
questo?
Yes?
Detectives Phelps and Galloway. Is your wife home, sir?
My wife went out last night and she hasn't come home.
Can you describe your
Lars
wife and what she
Tarsen
was
si chiama
wearing?
questo.
We were out at a friend's place,
Tarsen,
Bobby Ross's,
Tarsen.
for a party. She was kind of dolled up. She had her green silk dress, open-toed white shoes. Those are her favorite shoes.
Can we come in, Mr. Terrellson? I'm afraid we have some rather bad news.
Minchia, che brutto però da dire così di brutto, eh.
Do you have someone who can look after your children, Mr. Terrellson?
I've been trying to arrange a sitter. Look, tell me what's happened.
I'm afraid your wife was murdered last night. Her body was found this morning. We're very sorry for your loss.
Dobbiamo interrogarlo, eh.
I know this is a difficult time, Mr. Terrelson, but we are going to need you to answer some questions. First, we're going to take a look around.
What for? You don't think
It's
that...
procedure.
Nanna. Dobbiamo dare un'occhiata in giro, credo, intanto, eh.
Stay here till Daddy's finished talking to these men.
Where's Mommy?
Everything's gonna be all right, sweetheart.
We would like Mommy to come home now, Daddy.
What's the
Gioia.
problem, Terrelson? Let him search. You got nothing to hide.
Facciamo prima un giro veloce, secondo me.
Want to hear something funny, Terrelson? Some bums think filling out a missing persons report actually
Ehi.
rules them out as a suspect.
Vediamo un po'.
Need to check if she was
Bisogna
a
verificare
regular.
se è una cliente regolare. Ok. Dei cerini. Questo?
I wonder why the picture was turned down.
Non l'ho letto, cazzo. Vabbè, lo leggo negli affari. Cosa ha detto? Diario. Chissà perché la foto era girata così. Ok, ah, verso giù. Ok. Cerchiamo nella camera delle bimbe.
Doesn't look like anything.
E questa barca? Qua c'è delle foto di famiglia. Di noi cerini.
Baron's Bar again. Someone must be
Questa
real sweet on
bettola.
this dive.
So she went out without her handbag?
È uscita senza borsetta, vedi? Patente Teresa Taralsen, che è la moglie, credo. Femmina bianca, eccetera, eccetera.
She'd have to be in quite a state to leave this behind.
Sì, sembra tipo scappata, in effetti, eh. Rossetto?
At least she was spared that particular indignity.
Allora, scarponcini sporchi. Taglia
Let's see
42.
if Pinker can match the impression to the crime scene.
Pure questo. Ah, si può uscire fuori. Ok. Andiamo a fare un giretto fuori da capire, va? Guarda la barca. Ah, lo stesso modellino. La corda.
Looks like a match with the ligature marks.
Proviamo a parlare. Possibili
Do
sospetti.
you have any idea why anyone would want to hurt your wife?
No. Everyone loved Teresa. She was so full of life. It can't be anyone who knew her.
Allora, usiamo un intuito, va? Visto che ne abbiamo due. Rimuovi una risposta.
I think you're lying, Lars. I think you were mad at your wife for embarrassing you in front of your friends. I think you came back here and strangled her and then dumped her body on the hill.
You think I strangled my wife? How do you expect to prove that?
Come pensa? C'è la corda. Vediamo se c'è una corda. Cima di ormeggio. Proviamo questa. Io proverei questa.
Your wife was strangled with triple braid rope. The bow line from your boat is a perfect match.
Look, I know this looks bad. I'm gonna have to come to terms with the fact that I let her go.
È andata dove?
You said you went to a party at Bobby Ross's place?
That's right, Bobby had a bunch of people over. We were having a good time. She said she was bored and decided to leave.
You let your drunk wife leave the party and go off on her own?
Look, I was angry. I was having a good time. She has to go and ruin it. We always have to do what she wants to do. Last night she wanted to go dancing.
Any idea where?
Where she always goes.
Al bar.
Bar down on North Beaudry Avenue. Baron's Bar. She goes
Immaginavo.
there, drinks too much, gets maudlin, and calls me. I go and bring her home.
Stato d'animo.
Mr. Terrelson, was Teresa happy at home?
Yeah, I think she was.
Spill it, Terrelson. We like the look of you for this, so you better give us something.
We're at the party. She has a few and says she wants to go out dancing. We only have the sitter until 9. I get mad. I tell her to go ahead, but I'm staying. She storms out. Look, I'm doing well at cards. I hardly ever do well. I married her because she was so much fun, but now she drives me fucking crazy.
What time did she leave the party?
About 8:30, maybe a little earlier.
8:30.
When
Ultimo
was the
contatto con la
last
vittima.
time you saw your wife?
Around 8:30. The card game at Bobby's was wrapping up. I played out my hand and drove home here. Paid the sitter and went to bed.
Come facciamo a chiedergli degli stivali? Io accuso.
You're lying, Lars. You didn't come straight home, did you?
And how do you figure that?
Perché ha gli stivali? Vediamo se possiamo metterli. Dov'è? No, impronte no, scarponi infangati.
You were out in the rain. You got soaked, Lars. We found your wet weather gear.
Okay, I stayed a little later than I said. This cute little
Ci ho azzeccato, secondo me.
Teresa noticed.
Secondo me ci ho preso.
Half cut. I walked her home from Bobby's, but nothing happened. I walked back and got the car this morning.
Vediamo.
Thanks for answering our questions,
4
Mr.
di
Charles.
4, grande.
You'll need to go downtown to identify your wife's body.
I should have taken her dancing.
In my experience, Mac, you give in to broads, you'll be giving in to them your entire life.
Lui c'ha sempre delle risposte a alti livelli, eh. Allora, adesso dove possiamo andare?
Appreciate your time, sir.
Perché c'è un telefono per recuperare, secondo me, un indirizzo. Vabbè, le telefonate le salto, ragazzi. Tanto chiede solo l'indirizzo.
You know the way. You can drive.
Allora, andiamo prima al Baron's Bar, secondo me. Così sentiamo... Cioè, al bar andiamo a vedere intanto se ci sono qualche indizio e qualcuno che ci può dire qualcosa.
Levin King, go ahead.
We have a possible sighting of a tall, disfigured vagrant at the Hobo Camp on Grand between Temple and Sunset. Use caution, the suspect is wanted in connection with 2 assaults on females.
That's a couple of blocks from the murder scene.
Vai, entriamo.
Gents,
Eccolo qua.
drink?
Phelps and Galloway, LAPD.
I'm Benny Clough. This about Teresa Terrellson?
Yes, it is.
I heard about it on the radio.
Benny Clough si
You're
chiama.
saying it was that Black Dahlia freak again? God damn it. Yeah, I rang that husband of hers. The babysitter said he was out.
If you don't mind, we have a few questions.
Ultimo
What
contatto con la
time did
vittima.
Teresa leave?
Around 10:30, I think.
Ma con lei avevano detto 8:30.
We don't have time for you to be making guesses. What time was it
Mi viene,
exactly?
Hey, give me a break. I don't remember it to the second.
Who was she with? We've had reports about a tall, gaunt-looking hobo. He wasn't here last night?
I get plenty of bums in here, but nothing to fit that description.
Vabbè.
You've never served him.
Not a chance. By the sound of it, he's the type of bum you send packing right when he walks through the door.
You want us to catch the guy, sir. We
Neanche
need
uno l'abbiamo
information,
azzeccato.
not cute answers and delaying tactics.
I do my best, goddammit. What do you want from a guy?
Any of your regulars know the broad?
Ask him yourself.
LAPD, keep your seats, boys. This won't take a second.
Adesso scappa. Lo sapevo già.
You can't let the son of a bitch get away.
Dobbiamo recuperarlo. Preso.
All right, you got me. I've had enough.
Perché è scappato sto coglione, no?
Put your hands where I can see them. Name.
Richard Bates. What is it you want?
I'll ask the questions. Firstly, why did you run?
I don't mix with cops if I can help it.
Allora, contatto con la vittima.
Last night, you went drinking with a lady in the bar. Now she's dead. And your face is all messed up.
I'm in the clear on that. She preferred a sailor. You could lay it off on him. Are we finished?
Perché sei scappato, Gioia?
Do you want my partner to sap you? Tell us what we want to know.
She was okay. Drunk. Pissed off at her old man, wanting to go dancing. I thought I'd ply her with a few drinks and get my end away. Looks like your Salty had the same idea.
So what happened when you left the bar?
Sailor Boy laid one on me. A cheap shot. After that...
Perché sei scappato?
You've done time, haven't you, Richard? Is that why you ran?
I'm on parole.
On what offense?
Sexual assault.
Eh?
Look, I was lying there on the sidewalk. He flags a cab and jumps in with the broad.
We're taking you
2
in,
su 2,
Bates.
buono.
How come?
Just for a chat.
Per una bella chiacchierata,
Nice
fenomeno.
private chat. I'll explain my theory of once a degenerate, always a degenerate.
Take him to Central. He's a material witness in a murder case. Find him a cozy cell.
Richard here knows the drill.
Sì, però non sappiamo se è stato lui comunque, eh. Telefono. Ok. Andiamo alla machine, senza farci investire. Allora, andiamo... ce l'ha riaperto. Andiamo all'accampamento dei barboni, va. Per fortuna. Credo di essermelo perso.
We're looking for a tall, disfigured man at the camp.
Could be difficult. Most bums look deformed to me.
Come on, Rusty, this isn't gothic fiction. Hobos are just like you or me. They're just men who've fallen on hard times.
You ain't much of a detective, Phelps, if you think a hobo's like me. Clue number one, how do I smell?
Of alcohol and stale sweat. You know, I may be onto something here.
Very funny, Phelps.
Allora, siamo di nuovo all'accampamento dei barboni, Ci hanno fatto riandare, per fortuna. Tu c'è il fucile in mano.
We'd like a word with you. Save it for someone who's interested. They're fascists. Come to move us on and steal what little we have left.
Sei scemo.
Rounds won't get us far.
I need you to stay copacetic, Phelps. You need to hold out to the cavalry line.
How do we do that?
Like this.
Ma sei scemo.
These men know they're harboring a murderer.
Mica mi
We'll
hanno
find out
sparato
from
di
your personal
brutto.
effects.
Stuart Ackerman.
You're under suspicion for murder, Ackerman. We're taking you downtown.
Stuart
You can't do
Ackerman
anything
abbiamo.
more to me than what the Japanese have already done.
Ma che cazzo è questo? Andiamo a vedere, c'è qualcosa da cercare qua? Probabilmente.
Kremlin's over here, Phelps. Toss it.
Era un
see what you
soldato,
find.
era tipo.
Don't think this is anything.
Poi c'è un borsellino. Però potrebbe averlo rubato in effetti, no? Perché... moneta e un bigliettino. Ehi, eccolo qua.
Ackerman doesn't look like much of a dancer.
Aveva detto che era andata a ballare. Hai capito? La corda. No, vabbè. C'è la corda qua, però sporca di sangue.
Looks familiar. Safe bet it'll match the mark under Teresa Terrelson's chin.
No, vabbè. Dobbiamo andare a portare tutto alla stazione di polizia qua, perché sennò qua è il giornale che il buon Alan ci ha detto che dobbiamo scoprire gli eventi e andiamo a scoprirli.
Still working, Jack. I'm off to the Lighthouse Club in Santa Monica.
Hello, Jack. Mr. Benson, this is Courtney Sheldon. He's a buddy of mine from the war.
Well, I'm sure you two will want to polish some old war stories. Good evening, Jack. Mr. Sheldon.
Good night, sir. Take a seat, Courtney. We need your help, Jack. I told you I would have nothing to do with that.
I'm fine too, Jack. Medical school's going well. I got a part-time job.
Do dope peddlers need part-time jobs?
We made a mistake and we're in trouble, Jack. A local gangster, Mickey Cohen, is putting on the squeeze.
So hand it over, walk away. What's stopping you?
We had a deal with them that they would dole it out slowly. They said they would supply abortion clinics and doctors, but they've been moving it on to addicts, and they can't cope with the purity.
So your problem is with gangsters being dishonest.
My problem is that people are dying, and that if this gets back to us, we'll all end up in jail.
So how am I supposed to help, Courtney? This isn't the war. I can't just wave a magic wand and clean up your mess.
We want you to negotiate, Jack.
The only thing these guys understand is force, Sheldon. They got to the top back east by proving to be more vicious than the English, the Irish, and the Dutch. They make their own laws. That's the nature of a secret society. For God's sake, Courtney, you want to be a doctor. How can you fight with that?
We are better trained, Jack.
I didn't make it through the war to come back to this kind of shit, Sheldon.
Allora, posiamo il giornale e... boh, secondo me 4... ok, vabbè. Vediamo se c'è qualche indizio da cercare a questo punto. Quindi, ragazzi, oltre a aver guardato qua dentro, ho fatto un giro in tutto il posto e non ho trovato nulla. Non ho trovato niente. Quindi ce ne possiamo andare alla macchina, credo che si esca di qua. Dobbiamo andare luoghi. Stazione centrale. Vai. Andiamo.
You see our taxi anywhere?
All units also needs help. 415 and shots fired. 313 Bunker Hill Avenue. 313 Bunker Hill Avenue. Unit to handle code 3 identified.
Ma che taxi, scusami? Andiamo a sentire, perché qua dobbiamo interrogare il tipo, eh. Questo si va sopra. Questo? Eccolo qua.
Ackerman, you were in the Marines.
How do you know?
The Corps selected big guys for flamethrower duty. That's how you got the burns.
Life expectancy was 5 minutes for a guy in flamethrower detail. What kind of a government puts weight like that on a man's shoulders?
You'll get no argument from me. It was a heavy load.
You feeling sorry for this smelly fuck?
Allora,
Why
vai,
did you
andiamo.
kill Mrs. Terrellson?
I have no recollection of the people I have killed.
You hate women, Ackerman?
More than you could ever imagine.
How much did you hate Mrs. Terrellson?
I ache to put my seed in them. Afterwards, I have no use for them.
Minchia. Che bella persona.
A bus driver dropped Mrs. Terrellson near your camp around 2 a.m. Why did you take her up to the hill?
Which hill? I have many places. I go where I please.
You are clearly insane, Ackerman. The state of California does not execute mental patients.
I don't know the names of the women I've killed, but I've killed many of them. Their necks are so fragile.
Stuart Ackerman,
2 di 2.
I am charging you with the murder of Teresa Terrellson.
Ma è lui. Non sono convinto io, Ma quello era l'altro. Infatti, eccoli qua. Però non sono convinto che sia stato lui, Secondo me ha fatto qualche stronzata.
A man down on his luck I can abide. But a filthy red who chooses to live outside the rules of society I cannot stomach. Maybe poor Teresa Terrellson will provide the catalyst we need. I've spoken to the chief and the mayor, and I think it's time we send some men in to remove the godless and send them on their way over the county line. A grand day that will be, gentlemen. And a grand result you have brought me. You two are
Non
fast
sono
becoming
convinto
my
però che è
finest
stato quello, non lo so perché. Boh, vediamo cosa ci dà il risultato. Ogni si conta anche il tassista. Ma il tassista non l'abbiamo trovato. Come facciamo a trovare il tassista? Cosa mi sono perso, cazzo? Alan, solo tu ci puoi aiutare qua, che ci hai giocato 2 volte. Quindi su questo spoilerami cosa e dove ho sbagliato, perché a quanto pare ho sbagliato un qualcosa, perché ogni testimone conta, anche il tassista. Quindi io non ho trovato nessun tassista, nessun taxi, quindi come... boh, non lo so. Comunque ragazzi, non mi ha detto che ho sbagliato a incriminare quello. Quindi, se ci ricordiamo all'inizio, ok, questo taxista la lasciava, o il pullman che lo lasciava scendere, non mi ricordo più com'era all'inizio, però comunque mi ricordo che c'era un uomo che spiava quando lei è scesa. Vabbè, non so, mi ricordo se dal taxi o dal pullman. Comunque ragazzi, fatemi sapere, ho trovato 14 indizi su 17, quindi 3 non li ho trovati. Domande corrette 9 su 11, neanche tanto male, però ci manca un qualcosa che non so che cos'è. Ok ragazzi, noi ci vediamo domani con un altro video, mi raccomando, non mancate. Bella.
Wake up! It's time to look at the enemy. Look in the mirror if he is no